There are numerous armor pieces in this game, and each of them holds different skills that will make your character better when it comes to monster hunting. But admit it or not, some pieces just stands out among the rest. Take for example, if you are a fan of using dual blades, you can pick any pieces if you want, but if you truly understand this type of weapon, then you'll pick the right pieces for your play style. Others may prefer lesser stamina drain, while others may prefer pure elemental damage output for dual blades. This is when meta builds are created, and I'm here to not just tell you that there's only one meta build in this game, but I'm here to give you every meta build that could be created with some creativity, and a whole lot of grinding. This time, we will be talking about elemental builds. But I'm not gonna spoil every elemental builds I have yet, as I'm reserving that for another video. What we will be talking about here is, possibly the highest elemental value you can attain in the game. And if you think if this is another fancy weapon that can only be obtained on siege, or hard to hunt monsters, then you are very wrong. All it takes is one pair of fresh fish, and you'll be slapping every monster weak against water with lots of damage. The wet fish sabers are not just a meme weapon, it could possibly yield the highest water elemental damage in the game for dual blades. The best part is, these dual blades are easy to get since you will just need to fish for great wet fish in mastery rank event called a fish to whet your appetite. You may need to hunt other monsters to upgrade this dual blade, but it's easier compared to getting the Safi dual blades. Honestly, for the augmentation, I highly advise that you go with element, and the last one would be defense. Since you can't put another element in the last slot, I just picked defense, which is not really necessary. Now I have a couple of water elemental set up for my hunter. The first one is my favorite, a combination of reduced stamina depletion and Safi's Dragonvan Awakening. For this setup, I usually use the Shafi Aqua Claws, so I can attain the Zinogre Essence, which completes the latent power 7 I needed for this setup. However, the elemental damage of this setup is not as powerful as the second setup I will be showing. I sacrifice some for this setup so I can gain reduced stamina depletion, which leads to more survivability in my case. I'm not yet a pro in monster hunting and I have lots to learn, which is why I choose to make a balanced setup like this for my play style. But the most meta of all elemental builds for dual blades are the Silver Aetherlos set, which gives you the true critical element skill. This is perfect for fast weapons, since each critical hit will increase your elemental damage. You may go with Velkhana Divinity, if you don't have the Silver Soul set yet, but mind you, I highly suggest that you go with True Critical Element, since the difference between its alternate version is like night and day. For this set, you will all Silver Soul beta pieces except for the headgear. You can pick anything for your head equipment, but I suggest the Raging Brachio's beta helm, for its 2/4 dual slot, and its weakness exploit skill. This build is all about pure damage, no survivability, and mostly depends on items, mantles, and the skill of hunters to counter every monster attacks. The idea around this build is to gain 100% affinity with the help of weakness exploit, critical I7, and attack boost 4. This way, we can take advantage of the true critical element skill. Now 570 water element is good, but we can ramp it up with the wet fish sabers plus. We can take the water element damage to 710, and even add raw damage to the weapon if you use these dual blades with the Silver Soul beta equipment. However, you might want to tweak your setup for a bit, since the handicraft charm or skill somehow don't work with these dual blades. Most likely, you will rely on its protective polish skill, which will help you avoid sharpness loss for 60 seconds after sharpening your weapon. Instead of a handicraft charm, try to use the flood charm 5, so you only need one water attack boost on your set decoration, and could put max attack boost on your build. If you are just aiming for the 5% affinity increase of attack boost, you can keep it at level 5. Then you can add a handy jewel called Hard Enduring Jewel, which extends the effect of protective polish for 90 seconds at max level. Do take note that the build I've shown you are toned towards my play style. Make it as a reference and don't use it as a Bible, wherein you'll follow everything that's written on it. The last decision is always up to you, and always remember, having a great build is just support for your character. What matters the most is your knowledge of how to hunt every monster in the game effectively. More Monster Hunter builds and tips soon, so stick around, and I hope you enjoyed the content we are providing you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.
This is the future. Human error. Evolution. This is the future. 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 Human error. Evolution. This is the future.